Oh, wait a minute.
What?
We're not even here. No wonder.
It's just Alyssa this time.
Ayo.
Hey, the guest is here. Oh, there you are.
Oh wait, where's Zach?
Snuggle time.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. So we've been trying to change our camera setup and do some lighting different and all. And this one is a little funky, and me and Zach have to like snuggle up.
I don't see the problem. I mean, just saying.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So this week, welcome back. Welcome to Powerhouse Fence Show, brought to you by MFC Manufacturing, Memphis Fence Company, and Simpalo. This week on Powerhouse Productions Incorporated. That's not a real thing. On Powerhouse. What do you? I said Powerhouse Media Group. This week on Powerhouse Media Group. This week, Powerhouse presents Payroll and Taxes with Alyssa.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Powerhouse.
sit your butts right there, kitties and cats and boys and dogs. Let's see. I'm just trying new intros. I'm just trying new intro stuff. I mean, what are we gonna do? Laria wanted me to experiment a little bit. She liked my half Scottish accent last week, so we're just playing around.
Half Scottish.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh. All right.
It's there. It happened. You missed it. So we got an outline. I'm Zach, the host. I got Dan here. I'm the host. I'm the other host. Dan's the host. We're still confused on that. And
we're just two guys talking.
And what we do here on Powerhouse, for those who have or have not been here before, is we talk about the fence industry. We both are employed at this fence company. You like how I said that?
Yeah.
And so we talk about the commercial fence business, give a little bit of our experience. I think ultimately this thing
was mistakes.
Well, that's the experience part.
Yeah. That's what makes experience, right?
Right. Ultimately, this thing was birthed out of a desire to just kind of exchange knowledge and open the exchange of knowledge across the fence trade. You kind of started watching some podcasts and.
Yeah, I've listened to podcasts and stuff for a while, and I just thought somebody should be talking about commercial fence. So,
right.
And there's a lot of people that want to get into that, and so just decided to try to share some of our experience.
And are we or are we not into that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
I was like a wrestler for a minute.
Zach,
are we or are we not into that?
Zach comes out of the gate really strong, and then like 2/3 of the way through, he's like, ah.
It gets so boring when you get to payroll and taxes.
Thank you.
Okay, so you got some stuff you want to talk about before we get into it, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Wait a minute, we're live. We got a phone number.
Yeah, we're gonna have to read it to you, so hold on.
I'll just give them mine.
Scroll.
901-878-4987.
Where did that radio voice come from?
You like that?
That was a voiceover.
I say slay.
Slay.
That was a recording, so I don't have to read the phone number. Yeah, you just didn't
do it again. Press it again.
It's a one and done.
Oh, okay. 901-878-4987.
Yeah.
Also, if you comment, we've decided that we will pick if we want to. Not all commenters will be called, but if we got your number and we like what you're commenting, it's likely we'll call you on the telephone and have you on the show.
Yeah, or if we think you're trying to put us on the spot, we're gonna call and put you on the spot.
Okay.
How about that?
Whoa! We got all this extra pipe down here. We're trying to get rid of.
Right.
That guy.
Yeah,
he was serious.
Yeah, he was. That was a real life job.
That was so weird.
It was.
All right. We've done I've given a little story. I was talking to a friend today.
Says, if you're lonely and want to talk to us.
That's I'm not interested. We've done little stories and intros before, and I don't really have any intro stories, so you guys are safe.
Oh man, thought it was
nothing funny has happened to me. What did I do? I went to the zoo with a bunch of 5-year-olds this week. I also today went to a award ceremony at a middle school. The zoo is cool. I mean, if you've taken your kids to the zoo, it was like taking your kids and everyone you know's kids.
Yeah, I think I told you like I'd rather cut off my arm or something like
Right. And I was like, I'll see you later. I'm on the way there.
Mhm.
Tidily hodily.
that. Have we done anything interesting?
Nah.
We don't
Yeah,
really. We
We didn't
do
really talk.
interesting.
Y'all are moving in. You're moved in, halfway moved in, living in your new home.
Yeah,
Introduce Alyssa Turbyville, everyone.
yeah. Alyssa's been on the show before, actually. She was co-host like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that.
Yeah, and the supplier.
Oh, sorry, the other host. She filled.
Oh,
her,
in my stead.
yeah.
Yes,
So we
in your
have not
stead.
been on the show together.
We have not. Let's see how
Okay.
this
Well, that's
goes.
why I don't remember being on the show because I wasn't.
You
You
weren't.
weren't. That's right.
Right. Bummer.
So anyone, Alyssa's my wife. She
We-
works at these places too.
These two just got a new house, and that's amazing. I'm genuinely excited and just thrilled for them for this journey. So,
We
So-
went too, and then it turned into the money pit. Have you seen that movie?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So just this morning, the heat and air guy comes over because our heater wouldn't turn on. And he's like, oh, you need a new one. That's it. This one's old. It's a piece
After
of crap.
4 hours,
Yeah. The
he's
first
like
time.
throwing parts out and king, kong, king.
Well,
Let me turn. Oh wait, yeah, you need a new one.
Daniel
Right.
tried to fix it 2 days ago, and now it makes some weird rattle noise every time it turns on.
Which actually wasn't from me. That's where it's like rotting inside and falling apart. There's now just stuff clanging around in there. So it's pretty rough. But anyways, yeah, that was awesome. After we like redid the kitchen and painted the whole house and did all kinds of crap. And now, oh, by the way, you need a new
Furnace.
furnace.
Yeah.
But hey, don't worry, we're running a special on those. They're $7 off this month.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Did they also charge you for the 4 hours the tech put in to
I
diagnose
don't
things?
know how that's going to shake out. Because at first I told him just to like patch it up. And then afterwards I was like, no, that's stupid. I'm not spending money on something that's going to have to be replaced. So like, just go ahead and replace it. So I already paid some money towards patching it up. I have no idea how it's going to work.
You'd assume that they would credit that towards your new purchase.
I would assume
right?
so. So that's why I didn't even ask.
That's not a funny story.
No,
at
it's
all.
not. It actually is.
This
Sucks.
this is like when we had the insurance episode and everything was like, and then your bones fell off and you died. It was like, what? Wait a minute. How did that? What?
Right.
We're like, let's talk about
Uh,
something else. And then it's like,
like-
and then the worst thing ever happened and he got decapitated.
I asked for
What?
like some horror stories. Was exactly what I
Wrong
asked for.
words.
I didn't ask for like the story where everyone died at the end.
That's, I guess those are the types of things insurance adjusters think about for
I
us.
guess I was thinking
Or
more like
insurance
big,
agents. Sorry, my
crazy
bad.
claims that happen and stuff like that. Not
Well, right. We were
necessarily
trying
fatal.
to get into the like, if you don't have insurance, here's what could happen, to
happen,
you.
right.
This is the
You could
reason to have.
die.
Basically,
Your bones fell out.
well, we had one customer, and yes, sir, all his bones just fell right on out. What the heck? And they slapped them back together with Nutella and wet paint.
All right. So I will.
Listen to us tell inside jokes for 20 minutes.
Right. So let's move on. Let's try to get to something else here. So I'm going to attend Tony Thornton's Fence Business Conference that's at Shangri-La in Oklahoma in December. So that I saw a couple days ago, I think there's like over 70 people registered for it now. So if nothing else, I think it's going to be a good networking event. There's a lot of good speakers that are going to talk about a lot of content. I have it all listed here. I'm not going to read it all.
Can I read some of it?
Go for it.
Over 70 people registered. Fence Business Conference. Shangri-La
Fence.
Resort. Fence. That's what I said. Fence Business Conference.
Well, I was gonna say fence technology.
Fence Technology.
Justin Judy.
Shangri-La Resort in Oklahoma. December 10th through 13th. Nope.
So
10th. Yes.
This dude, this
I was like, is 13 a
leadership
year?
forum with Barry Willingham. So that
Leader-
that dude
Leadership
was
Forum
like-
with Barry Willingham.
he was either president
Willingham.
or CEO of Smith and Wesson before he went and worked
Oh.
at Ameristar. So that's
That's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Friend, well, it doesn't. A friend of mine's dad was an engineer for Colt,
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
yeah, that's cool.
Like, what a cool job. I don't know how
Right.
cool the job it was, but it sounds pretty awesome.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
So,
else?
anyways, we'll be there. I'll be
Exit
there.
strategy with Jeff Cook.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm scrolling the page, so
Nutella.
no one can read that anymore. All right. So as
Before we go
always,
further,
give us some top. Hold on. Let me. There we go. Since you can't see on camera, I just turned my computer where you couldn't see it. But all right, so give us some topics you want to hear about. And let us know, what do you want us to talk about? Because we just ramble on about all whatever we think's a good thing to talk about, but let us know what you want to hear. And also, if you want to be on our show, then let us know that. We're pretty willing to let people on.
We'd love to have you as a guest.
Yeah.
I mean that sincerely.
Yeah, it would be cool. Do some like live networking right here.
Mike Mace.
Really?
Can't take that call right
You
now.
don't want to talk to the tow truck driver?
Nope. So yeah. Oh, if you think that there's a guest we should have on, then
Oh,
let
that's
us know
good.
that
Yeah.
too.
If you're not the guest, but you know the guest,
Right.
that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
if you're like, hey, y'all should talk to someone. Yeah, there you go. I made it through. All right, so now
Now it's for our regularly scheduled segment. Time to learn Italian. I wish you had some cheers of children. Yay!
Yay. Where's the cheers?
Which one?
Hey.
Yay! With Ilaria.
All right.
You like how I said it in Italian for the time to learn Italian? Only time this week I'll say it right.
I still don't know how to say it right.
Ilaria.
Ilaria.
I mean,
it's me, Ilaria.
So I had on here sales tax because we're talking about tax and all that. So let
they don't have that in Italy, apparently.
Yes, we do. They're just included in the price. So we don't know how much. I mean, there is a fixed price. I just don't know how much it is.
Really? You don't know tax well, I don't know. Do normal people know tax percent that like aren't
It's
in
like at the
business?
bottom of your receipt.
I think it says the percentage on the receipt,
It
right?
does,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay.
But like if you go to the store, like here, if you see, I don't know, pasta, it's like 189. You gotta add taxes to it. Whereas in Italy, it might be like 199, and there's already taxes in it.
Interesting. That's cool. I kind of prefer that method. Do you know the word for sales tax?
No.
Oh,
Can you? What's the other thing we're talking about? Payroll.
Hold on. What? No, the Day of the Dead. That's what we were gonna
that's
say.
what I was saying.
Yeah. So go for that one.
I
Is
know
that
one.
today?
Yes.
Okay.
In Italy
Which is-
today? Okay, go for it.
Giorno dei morti.
Giorno de Marty.
Slay.
What?
Giorno de Marti.
Yeah.
Giorno de Marti.
Yes.
Yeah. Good job, guys. I'm proud.
Yeah.
Very proud.
And tell us a little bit about the holiday.
We
Nothing.
don't do it like it's not as cool as in Mexico. We just bring fresh flowers to the cemetery. That's it.
Which is
Oh.
it the same as All Saints? Same
All
thing.
Saints was yesterday.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
when like people are actually off.
So you were telling me the other day about how cemeteries work in Italy. And
Oh,
it's like you
yeah.
have to lease a spot.
you don't have to. You can if you don't want to pay as much.
Oh,
So
you,
instead
I
of
think you told me it was like $30,000 for 10 years or something like that.
That's 30,000 if you want to actually buy a spot, and I think you own that for like 30 years or 35 or something, and then you're gonna renew it for I don't know how
So in
much.
30 years, they dig you up and kick you
yeah.
out.
So you told? Did I overhear you telling Dan a story of one of your relatives was actually exhumed?
My
Yeah.
grandpa 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yeah.
They should have waited till today.
Well, how did they miss
He
that
could have really
opportunity?
honored the crud out of him on Day of the Dead.
Honored the crud out of him.
Yeah, and they call you and they ask if you want to be present.
So you can go watch them exhume a body that's been in there for 30, 35 years, whatever.
My
How-
mom was there.
Oh.
And then what did they do with the body?
It's just usually just like bones. So they just like you buy something like a spot.
They put them in the
Uh,
dumpster.
That too if they don't have anyone. But if like you buy a spot, they just like put the bones in there.
In the landfill. They have the bone landfill.
I don't know. It's like against the wall, and they have like tiny spots, and then just put it in there, which is the same thing. And if you buy,
What
you
is
either
that?
have
A
Mexico-
mausoleum.
No, that's that too, but that's like a thing, like almost like a
Oh, it's
house.
kind of decorative. Wherein what
Yes,
you're
they-
saying is just kind of
They
like
have those too.
an
but
ant
there's-
farm.
I don't even know what that is.
I was imagining like a reptile store with just bones.
Where
in
they
the-
just have like glass enclosures along the wall.
It's like stone.
Oh,
with the
look, it's
name on it.
grandpa, grandma. Weird. Death seems to be funny, apparently.
Yeah.
It is close to Halloween.
Yeah,
and it is the Day of the Dead.
that's right.
So
So,
this
I
is
think
an
it's an
appropriate
appropriate day.
topic.
Yeah. Any more cool stories about any of that?
No, not really.
Oh,
What
okay.
about other contradictory things that we might find amusing from Italy? Just things that we might find.
So fraud.
All right.
Things from Italy that are amusing to us Americans?
Right. How about things about Americans that are amusing to Italians?
Oh.
Pineapple on pizza.
Mm.
Ketchup on pasta.
What,
Ketchup on
ketchup
pasta.
on pasta? People do that?
I used to eat when I was a kid. I used to eat mayonnaise on spaghetti. What do you think about that?
No comment.
The look on her face.
No, I met someone who put vinegar on pasta, and I was like, "We're done.
That's
Thank you."
well, it's better than ammonia.
Yes, that's true.
Isn't that what's on pasta salad? It's kind of like vinegary something or another, right?
So,
What about-
Like
some of
white
them-
vinegar? Yeah, that's what she was making when she put ammonia in it.
I was actually making coleslaw, but
Oh,
Coleslaw.
yeah,
Coleslaw.
which-
Wait, you
Oh.
made coleslaw with ammonia? Who'd you feed it to?
So she's
Her
got the best.
boyfriend.
me
You,
and my boyfriend, and we had to call poison control.
How?
I thought it was white vinegar. I said we didn't. So he tried it. I was trying to make it healthy with yogurt, and he was like,
That
"It's
kinda
missing
backfired.
something." Yeah, it did. He was like, "It's missing something," and it was like, "Add white vinegar." I said we didn't have it, and he was like, "Yeah, it's under the sink." I was like, "Oh, it's under the sink." So I just grabbed it, opened it, and put like 2 tablespoons in it, and I tried it. I was like, "It doesn't taste like much."
So you just like swigged the ammonia?
Mhm.
Huh.
No, she didn't swig it. She put it in there.
Yeah, just like 2
She
tablespoons.
Oh.
didn't taste test
No,
it
no, no.
before
Oh, okay.
she put
But
it in
I
there.
mixed it, and I had like 2
Ugh.
tablespoons, and I was like, doesn't taste like much.
Uh.
So I made him try that, and he was like, I don't know, it doesn't taste like much. And he was like, read the label. I was like, oh, oopsie.
Wow.
But in your defense, I mean, the bottles are like the same.
They're
The
literally
bottles
the
are
same.
exactly the same.
Yes.
And it
Yeah.
was written in English.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right,
I do
right.
have other.
They didn't have an Italian translation on it.
Vegetables meant nothing.
Oh, thank you for
Ah.
sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you
That's
so
good
much.
stuff.
I'm glad you're okay too.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
much fun as we've had with that, I really am glad that you guys are all
Thank
right.
you. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, that's good.
I wouldn't want your phones to fall out.
But we would tell the story here if that happened.
You will be without a marketing manager. That'd be really bad.
Yeah, it would. That would be bad news. All right, so we're still trying to improve the process and figure out what we're gonna do.
Are you talking about software?
Yeah, software.
Because you just.
I
Yeah,
just went
that-
to the next thing.
And
I
that-
figured we were done talking about drinking
Well,
ammonia.
people
and
listening can't read your notes. So.
That's right. Old business. We've been talking about software stuff still.
My apologies, listeners. So we've been talking about like trying to, swap to a CRM or something for a while, and we're still kind of fighting that fight. We ran into some issues, and we're trying to sort through those issues. Hopefully, there's a
You-
way to overcome that.
You did purchase a license for one, correct?
Yeah.
And then we started trying it. You started doing some test models, so to
we've
speak.
played around in there a little bit and ran into an issue. And so the problem is that we use assemblies in our inventory stuff and
QuickBooks.
yeah, in QuickBooks. And the software can't handle an assembly.
Which the first drawback with QuickBooks was that we're using Enterprise, which was a lot of them were integrating with online
Mhm.
and not with Enterprise.
Yeah, but a lot of the CRMs you see that say, "Oh yeah, we have a QuickBooks integration," is actually in QuickBooks Online, not Enterprise. So that was one problem, which kind of narrowed down the options for us. But we moved forward with one, ran into that wall of the assembly issue, and we're trying to sort through that. So still working on it.
I'm just going to extend this. If someone would like to sponsor us to build the perfect software, I think we're open to that, right?
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, so São Paulo, like the big picture dream is that we build more than what it does today. So
Right. So this solution of integrating
you don't even have to
assemblies.
sponsor us. Like just subscribe to São Paulo.
There you go. I like that. That will help
We just
to
have a ton of people subscribe, and then we'll be able
have
to
the money to
continue
move it
with
forward.
development. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Either of those things would be cool. All right, so let's talk about Alyssa.
Alyssa's here.
We're 20 minutes in. Let's
Hey. I won't be using any profanity on the show tonight.
Yeah,
sadly.
right. Yeah,
I've
right.
never-
We all believe that.
Mm-hmm. We'll believe it when we see it. Are we all just gonna sit here and look at each other?
Alyssa Turbyville, Dan's beautiful wife, and she does a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
And your job position would be hard to describe in even a sentence of words,
Yep.
in my opinion.
For sure.
Yep. So the question is, this is not a meet the team episode with Alyssa, but I think we need to give her a little bit of an introduction, explain her background a little so that maybe what she's going to say means something. So what do you do here?
Okay, so I've done a little bit of everything here: payroll, sales tax, like the accounting, because that is my background.
Those are your fans right there.
Hey. Accounting is my background, so I've done that. I've assisted the commercial manager, Randy, entering all of his stuff in QuickBooks. I was the residential manager for a while, event coordinator. I've painted stuff for the company, gone out on job sites and painted stuff for them. I've installed.
I had to go paint some gate posts one time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I've helped Dan install. So
Yeah.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Every time we're in the vicinity of the place with the gate posts she painted, she's like, "Oh, I painted those posts over there."
And
Yeah.
basically, depending on who is or is not available at any given moment, you basically fill
Yep.
that.
I do wholesale when needed.
HR, some
HR when needed.
accounts
what-
payable, accounts receivable when needed.
When needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm Dan when needed.
Substitute Dan.
I get a lot better looking when I'm not around.
Yeah, so just a little bit of everything.
Yeah. A little bit of everything and anything in between. Today, what were you working on this afternoon?
Photoshopping your head on a Vegas showgirl's body.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean,
What? I don't want to hear a word about how much the booms cost. Just saying. Is my head on a showgirl's body?
No, I did not do yours.
I did that. No worries.
Dang it.
okay. So not
We
only
tag- we
not
tag
only did
team.
we have one, we had two people
Right.
here that spent the afternoon photoshopping us onto Vegas showgirls. So that's what we do here at Memphis Fence.
We boost morale.
Kristen Johnson, I'm so excited to hear what Alyssa has to say about yucky payroll.
It
And
is
she
the
even sent some
worst.
hearts to you.
Oh, thank you.
How nice. Yeah. So I've done payroll, I think, one time.
And you had to call me to do it.
Oh, I think I had to sit on the phone with you the entire time.
You did.
And I will say it's probably one of the worst things that I've ever done.
It's awful. And then,
It
our
sucks.
other topic, sales tax, it's pretty close by.
Yeah.
Pretty close second.
So the frustrating thing to me about payroll is that you can't just sit and enter it. You have to wait, where's this guy's time for that day? Where was he? Oh, let me try to call him. Let me try to figure this out. It's so frustrating.
Is Josh Cumby watching?
Yeah.
Where was Josh Cumby last week? Yeah, so we do job costing on payroll, which means we allocate all of their hours to the job they were working on. And so some of these guys go on maybe 5 jobs a day. That's a little extreme, but I mean, when you're going on 3-4 jobs every day and you don't turn in a timesheet, and then I don't know where you're at, it's a little frustrating. But so
It's
yeah,
a lot of frustrating.
when I-
Disagree. It's a lot of frustrating.
And then the pressure of if I don't get this done in time, they're all waiting for me to so
Right.
they can get paid.
So there's some ironies that I could make in
Yeah.
there.
I mean, very
But-
clear
Yeah,
clear
well-
ones. You didn't turn in your timesheet, therefore I couldn't get you paid.
we
I
have
mean,
anyone who's ever touched payroll has always threatened to do that. If you're not turning in your timesheet, you're not getting paid. Never do it. Can't pull that trigger, but we always threaten it.
and what do you really have? Like, what ammunition do you really have there? Like, all right, I mean it this time.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna pay you. And then they're like, okay, well, I'm not gonna show up. So
Or have you even had that conversation with someone?
no, I never did.
Okay.
I'm a people pleaser. So here, let me go find where you were. I'll track down your truck's GPS I'll
Right.
go ask Randy. So no, I never had that conversation.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
to
but
be
it is
clear.
frustrating. So,
Yes.
One of the guys from the trade show I met is probably watching this and like gonna give me a call after this.
Yeah.
Here's the reason that we talked about my product.
right. Very true. Very true. So what was your background before you worked at Memphis Fence?
All right. So like I said, graduated with a degree in accounting, and then immediately worked at an accounting firm in Memphis, doing sales tax.
So this was like a big firm that's nationwide,
it
right?
is nationwide. It is a big firm. Started my internship was income tax, but that was not a good fit. And so they like to boast that everyone gets offered a job position there. Well, I don't think they wanted me in income tax. So they're like, sales tax needs somebody. But it actually turned out to be a pretty good fit. So I was actually pretty decent at it.
Yeah, so you were like doing sales tax returns for nationwide like franchise places, and I think you told me that one of them had something like 220 returns you had to do monthly.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't remember if that was my biggest one or not. But yeah, there was a big chain, a food chain that I would do, huge. And so, yep, they were due the 20th of every month. And I thought I would never forget when the 20th would come up, but I've been removed from it so long. Luckily, the 20th doesn't scare me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty cool though. Just to like I tell people that story every once in a while. I'm like, yeah, she worked on sales tax returns and did all of these things. And so what's funny though is even like so I could ask you a question about sales tax and you'd be like, "Oh no, it's not like that in Wyoming." And then like sometimes, that's not the
I
case.
was like,
But
that might be exaggerating.
no, I promise you, there's been conversations like that where you would tell me about some sales tax in some state that's halfway across the country. And I'm like, okay, well, what do we do here? Like, so that's always been pretty interesting to me. But all right. So before we get into anything to do with payroll and our taxes and all of that stuff, let's address item number 1 on the list here.
1099 versus W-2.
Yeah, so I saw a post on Facebook here within the past couple of weeks where someone was asking a question about 1099 or W-2 or something, and like one of the comments, oh, I don't think we should read that.
No, I'm not going to read it. I just had it
Okay.
as a reference. So
So one of the
Oh,
comments, one of the comments like made it seem like people that worked for them were both.
yeah, they basically said, yeah, our employees are 1099 and they're on payroll. Well, that's not possible.
Right.
Just to put that out there, 1099 means you have your own truck, your own tools, you can set your own schedule. If you're on payroll, then you're using the company's stuff, and the company gets to tell you when you're going. And so I just want to put that out there. 1099, your employees aren't on payroll if they're 1099.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of quotes here.
I have a question. Is
Yeah.
1099 like freelancing?
Yeah, basically you're your own boss.
Okay.
So
Yep. So like the subcontractors that we use and stuff, they'll get 1099s.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I even went on the IRS website and did some reading about this the other night, and I have a couple of quotes that I copied and pasted, but I don't think I'm going to sit and read them. Basically, from my understanding, the IRS's rule is if you tell somebody I need this fence installed, this is what I want it to be like at the end of the day, and then they go on their way, now that person can be a 1099. If you tell them to be at work at 7:00 every day and you tell them exactly what to do throughout the course of the day, those are not 1099 employees or 1099 contractors. Those are W-2 employees. Do you agree?
yeah, 100%. Well,
Do you concur?
I'm not gonna argue with the IRS for sure, but I mean that is the difference. So
Yeah. So anyone out there who's a little bit confused about it, we are obviously not professionals, but I would definitely seek some professional advice, and you don't want to get caught making that mistake. So one thing that I will read you is if you classify an employee as an independent contractor and you have no reasonable basis for doing so, then you may be held liable for the employment taxes for that worker. All right, so that is a direct quote from the IRS website. The name of the page was independent contractor or employee. So just imagine having to pay employment taxes for somebody that's been working for you for 10 years. Like that could get pretty ugly pretty fast.
Yeah. So to keep in mind, when you're doing business, taxes are all about the intent of your action. So they're gonna, like whatever you just read, they're gonna understand that your intent was to not pay taxes.
yeah. So
They are going to tax you.
it says, have no reasonable basis for doing so.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to prove it.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember one of your dad's little sayings. I know he'll say like, "Does it pass the smell test?" or something like that, and
Or the
then
sniff test. Yeah.
and then there's another
Does it
one.
smell fishy?
He's like something about a leg to stand on. I can't remember what it was, but anyways, he has a lot of those little sayings because sometimes I try to get in the gray area a little bit,
A little
and
bit.
we don't know who's listening to this. No. And he always tries to steer me back straight. So anyways, like I said, if you don't understand those rules, go do some research, figure it out, because you can get in trouble. So now, do you have anything to say, Zach? Did you spend all of your energy in like the first 2 minutes? Are you?
No, I don't really have anything to add to that. The only thing I was really thinking about that stuff were just circumstances that made it more convoluted. And I thought, I'll just stay out of this because this is an easy thing to get confused to begin with. And I think the purpose of that segment was to try to keep it as cut and dry as possible.
Yep.
So I'm like, this is one of those where I don't have much to add to that.
And the purpose of this, like we probably could have someone who's an expert on the matter come on to the show and talk an hour and probably not even like really get anywhere with that, right?
I know,
but
I can say there were times when I had 1099 employees and my intent was to not have to pay payroll taxes.
So they're 1099 independent contractors.
Exactly.
Yeah, or workers' comp.
Calling them employees obviously outs me on what they were really doing.
Exactly.
Oh, they come here at 7 and leave at 4. My employees, they're 1099s.
Right,
So
exactly.
And they voluntarily come here at 7 and leave at 4.
And use my tools under my instruction.
Right. They just chose to be here.
That is the example of not. We quickly got them W-2.
Well, and as like Kristen commented, payroll, and like Alyssa and I have talked about here, payroll is a pain in the butt. It's a lot easier to be like, oh, you work 20 hours. I'm going to pay you $20 an hour. Here's a check. Right. That is so easy versus running through payroll and having to deal with all the taxes and everything that come along with it. Then you have workers' comp. That's a whole other issue.
Right. But we talked about on the insurance episode, there are certain circumstances where you're required to carry insurance on 1099 employees anyways.
Yep. So if you have workers' comp, then your workers' comp insurance company, when they audit you at the end of the year, will then charge you for all of your 1099 people that you cannot produce a certificate of insurance for.
Right.
And you'd have to check with your insurance company, but I don't think ours accepts a waiver. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I don't know.
But even on that side, the insurance side, then there's the contractor side too, where the people you're working for want you to produce insurance no matter what. So say a subcontractor, me, when I had my business, I personally was exempt, but you could, as the contractor, just say, no, it's not, I'm not okay with that.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah, we quickly got, in the few early months or year or so of our business, we kind of were like, oh, we'll just play, we're tiptoeing. We don't know how fast we're going to grow here. Everybody's 1099 and I'm exempt and that's that. And then we slowly, realize that we're going to need to be above board with all this just in case someone's bones fall out.
Right.
So,
because apparently that does happen. More than we would like to admit.
Okay, I'll admit it. I haven't listened to that episode. But
he never said the bones fall out, but it was very it's like everything fell into this really gruesome category.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I asked
Should have
for
been
some
the
horror
Halloween
stories, and he
edition.
started talking about how all these people like died and all of this stuff, and I was like, no, that's too
not
far,
that
man.
kind of
Not
horror.
gory.
Not
Yeah.
right.
We're not making a movie. All right, so
yeah, if anyone has any payroll questions, leave them, and we can try to. I can try to answer them if you have something specific. But I think
I would say if you have payroll questions, maybe find a local professional.
Well, 100%. But maybe if like how we do things or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, so from that perspective, I agree. Okay. So let's talk about these wage rates and certified payroll.
And that's worse than job costing payroll.
Wait, that?
The one above that.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all
I didn't
okay?
even see this. Some don't know the difference between
This is from-
salary and hourly.
This is from
Salary.
I'm gonna
Sowie?
intro this. This is from Kristen Johnson,
Oh yeah.
who has
Sorry.
the very cute wording of yucky payroll.
Oh, I forgot I can show these. Check it
Yeah,
out.
you can like click on
There's
it.
Oh,
the hearts that she
nice.
sent Alyssa. So
Yeah, so the viewers can see. That's great. So Kristen Johnson says some don't know the difference between salary and hourly. I feel that can get sketchy also if not paid out correctly. You got any input on that? That's I think for you.
Well,
Because I don't know the difference.
are you,
so it gets messy, right? What I mean, if you have someone that's salary, what happens if they don't show up one day every week?
well, I mean,
You heard the story. I went to the zoo yesterday. I went to some award thing today.
Right.
Going to the mall tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
so that really goes to, I would say, your employee manual that says how much PTO someone has. So at the accounting firm one year, I did go over my allotted PTO and they did deduct it from my paycheck. So they figured out my hourly rate based on my salary. And then whatever time I went over, they deducted it from my paycheck.
See, I
So-
like that. How many employees did that place have?
Our location specifically had 100.
I mean, nationwide.
I don't know.
I think I saw on their website one time like 14,000,
Maybe.
something like that.
So a couple of smaller businesses I'm aware of, like mostly in kind of the art vein, they will have all the employees are hourly, basically, and it's pretty much the honor system.
Mm-hmm.
The
And
hours that they worked is honor system.
yeah, and that's about it. So did I say hourly? I meant salary. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading this comment.
Okay, everybody's salary, and it's basically on the honor system. And we talked about doing that with my business just to save that nickel and dime in yourself for payroll.
So
part.
that's how we try to do it. Is like, if you're gonna not be here to go to an award ceremony and go to the zoo and make it up somewhere.
Right.
Right. And that's just to me, like, and also for me, as long as your job is being done the way that it needs to be done, I'm not like breathing down your neck. And I think you can probably attest to that some.
Yeah, sure.
But, I'm not super stressed about like, if I trust you enough to put you in a salary position, like I believe that you're going to accomplish whatever task you're given and it doesn't matter about the hours. So Kristen has another comment here. So like my production supervisor was salary for a bit. Come to find out, we can't technically put him salary if he works some percentage of his time in the field and not sitting at a desk. That's interesting.
So you couldn't put an installer foreman. You couldn't make one of our installers salary.
I have no knowledge of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down and look into this. I didn't
You-
know that was a thing.
Kristen Johnson, congratulations! You've stumped us.
You stumped the panel.
So what I do know about salary stuff and the rules with salary is overtime. There's
Right.
some salary people are eligible for overtime. And
I
sorry
need
to
find- where do you sign up?
sorry for throwing that out there to anyone who employs people that didn't know, but yeah, so there's categories that people can go into that makes them exempt from overtime, but not every salary person is exempt from overtime. So there's that. So now that's kind of another weird thing is like you have a salary person that now has to track their time. So it feels like if you're going down that path, if you only work 36 hours, then you should only be paid 36 hours. And at that point, you're nothing but hourly. So
Right.
like, what is the benefit of being salary?
Yeah.
So that
Holiday
The
pay?
benefit for me is if I work 39 hours, I get paid for 40.
right,
Benefit for you is on the weeks I work 46, you pay me for 40.
right.
I mean, so either one of us, does that really make any sense?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
So I can't wrap my mind around that. I don't understand the point of the rules like that. But
So are you talking about the rules of
I guess I can take this comment off since we know nothing about it. We'll hide that and pretend it wasn't there.
yeah,
Nope.
Ilaria, can you
Moving
edit that
on.
out? I know,
Moving on. All right. So here's what I really not to change the subject, but I kind of want to talk about like wage rates and certified payroll on these commercial jobs. Thank you. Right. So there's this big thing in the world where people are like, oh, I'm never giving a breakdown on anything. I'm never letting people know like how much material and labor and all of this stuff
I'm
that I
just
put
going
in
to
a job.
pass on that job.
Right.
I've told
So-
people no. I've just said no.
So what I do, you know what I do. You know what I do.
Yeah, I do what you do.
Right.
Now,
So
but I understand the fear of like not wanting to break it out because
Right.
you got those people who are gonna be like, well, I'll just buy the material myself then.
so there's this concept of certified payrolls, right?
Right.
So what happens is when you go into a job that has government money in it, then
Right.
you have wage rates. So they tell you minimum
Right.
pay for people based on
We
whatever
did some
classification
stuff
they're in.
a while back at like the naval base,
We do a few jobs a year that are
And that-
certified payroll.
but
So-
that was one, right? Millington
Yep.
Navy Base, I think.
Yeah, that'll be one. And so what you have to do is you have to like there's this form you have to fill out. And Alyssa can probably speak a little bit more intelligently than me about that since I've never done it. But I've seen them. There is a form that you have to fill out, and then you have to submit that every week showing them what you paid everybody to prove that you're exceeding the required minimum payment. So now think about that. If we had an episode where we talked about billing for stored materials, right? So you have to send in the invoice and proof of payment a lot of
Mhm.
times to bill for stored material. Now we have to send in certified payroll. Guess what? They know exactly what your material was. They know exactly what your payroll was. And I promise you, I've never had one person ever say anything about, well, you only paid this much for material and this much in labor. Why'd you charge me so much for the job? In that world, like that's never happened. But anyways, back to the certified payroll.
Well, my only comment was I would think that that fear would be more business to business, where you'd be fearful of putting your breakdown as opposed to like a general contractor where they don't care what you're charging. They if they use your bid and they want it, then I mean the owner's paying for it. So
Right.
that's what I would.
Special delivery.
So yeah, the certified payroll report, you have to list everyone who is on a job. When we did years ago, when we didn't pay more than the wage rates, we would have to make sure we knew the moment that the guys stepped on the job site, the moment that they left, what their lunch break was, so that then we paid them the correct wage while they were on that job site. And to be honest, so that we wouldn't be paying them while they were like on the yard loading up for the job site. Because it was a pretty substantial difference. What? Y'all are very distracting. It looks like y'all are about to laugh. But anyway, so but now we pay more than the wage rate, so it's not
Probably not all the time, but most of the time.
all the ones we've been on.
I bid a job the other day and it had, I think the hour on one of the classifications, the hourly rate was like 36 an hour, and then fringe benefits were like 15.75 an hour on top of that. So you did. Yeah. So now she knows what we were laughing at. So most of the time, yeah, we're paying more than wage rates, but I would think every once in a while you get like a certain classification on a certain job for a certain municipality, and like they get crazy.
Yeah, I looked at, and it looks like the Davis Bacon is state specific. So I looked it up today, and Tennessee, I think the minimum is $15.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see a fence. At least Shelby and Tipton County, they didn't have fence specific rates. So it was like I can't remember labor. The closest thing that would fit to fence was $15. So
Yeah.
but anyway, the report, you have to list every employee, their rate, their overtime rate, their hours. how much money they made on that paycheck, like as a whole, how much money they made from that job, and then how much money they make as a whole, and then any fringe benefits. Because if you don't, yeah, I think he's tapping his foot. And then any fringe benefits, which also can go into their pay. So that's how the report works. And if you have QuickBooks, I know on QuickBooks Enterprise, it does the report for you. So that is one benefit of having
Well,
us.
how does that work with the fringe benefits in QuickBooks though? Like you actually have to be putting in payroll and like 1099 matches and all that stuff to count as the fringe benefit?
1099 matches.
Not 1099.
Yes, you do have
401k, sorry.
Yes. And luckily we do all that.
Yeah, so it'll calculate all of that stuff for
The
you.
pay scale also applies to benefits.
Donnie said, Alyssa is killing it. Great show, guys.
Thanks, Donnie.
Yeah. So fringe benefits are the benefit side of it. So there's two different columns. One of them says like pay, one of them says fringe benefits. And so if you take somebody that you employ.
And so this is a court case from some time ago or something.
Oh, that's supposed to say
Davis.
Yeah, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
David Bacon.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what Davis Bacon is. I just know that's the name of it. I don't know the
So that's
backstory.
I don't know the backstory.
It
of
had
it.
to have been like a court case, right? Where
sure.
this is how this came about. Like that's the case of Davis Bacon, where the law was made that
I don't know, that was worded funny to me. But yeah, it had to have been the case of David Bacon.
The case of Davis Bacon. This week on the
But yeah, that's what popped in my head.
Powerhouse Files, Unsolved Mystery Files, Powerhouse Edition. El Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, good one.
Nice.
You're on top of it.
People driving just ran into the back of the car beside them.
What's happening to me?
So
You handled that picture like a champ.
Next
How'd
time
you
Alyssa
do that?
Next time Alyssa comes on, we're gonna expect the full story of Davis Bacon.
Yeah, we need the history.
Yeah, so I've added the production manager that can't be salary, and now we'll do Davis Bacon.
Yeah.
Another exciting podcast.
Yeah.
in the
So Davis Bacon is one that you see a lot, but also local governments will have one. So like here in the city of Memphis, they have one. Shelby County, I think, has one. So Memphis is in Shelby County. I think they both have different ones. So there's like other wage rates that can come.
Yeah. So like
that can affect your job. Are you?
Donnie told me to smile.
Oh.
So I keep trying out new ones.
Cannon keeps asking me to do a show about bollards.
Bro, that'd be a short show.
Yeah, Cannon, we can do a show about bollards. I have an idea. Next time you're on the show, you can ask all the bollard questions. We can just have a full show talking about pipes.
Spell it right when he comes on.
no, we can't even spell it. It's Bollard.
I don't know if
He
it's
did spell
O.
it right.
I think it's
No.
no.
Oh.
Okay, sorry,
But
Cannon.
even though people say Ballard.
Because there are 3 L's.
Oh, good point. I didn't even see that part.
Called out.
That's not even what I was trying to say. I can never remember if it's A or O.
None
I
of us
really don't.
noticed the 3 L's. All right, we got you. Bollards. Oh, geez. All right, so
He just wants to be back on the show.
yeah,
I get
think
it.
so.
We have magnetic personalities. The
Hey,
three
didn't
of
you
us.
say y'all
All
were
three
gonna
of us.
call people if
Yeah.
they comment?
Yeah, but we're
Not
talking
Cannon.
right. We're talking about important stuff here.
Oh, right.
Is Kristen Cannon's wife?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
What are these hands?
It's a high five.
Is that a
right?
please?
Yes.
Please.
I think it's people high fiving.
I never understand that.
No, sir.
You can be like praising, I guess. Maybe I don't. Are you in there one like this for? Oh, sorry. Oh, wrong way. I don't know what it means.
That one is please.
Please,
That?
please what? Please the
Oh.
the
Please
Bollard
get back
show.
on topic.
Okay, yeah, good point. All right. So also, when there's certified payroll, you'll have inspectors that go around the site. There will be posters on the job site that have the wage rates on there. People will go around and ask employees, "Hey, are you being paid X amount like you're supposed to be?" So if you try to cheat, you might get busted.
Mm.
Well, before our wage increase for our employees, they would get excited about these
Scale pay jobs.
scale pay, and they were very disappointed when they learned that they make too much. Yeah.
They make more than the scale
Yeah.
already.
I remember way back when, probably about 12 years ago, I remember some fellas fighting over who was going to hold the welder because they got paid big bucks to weld.
Welders get paid big. Foremen get paid big.
That was on a City of Memphis job. And they honestly were pretty confrontational with one another, fighting over a welder. It was pretty weird. So, anyways, so we pretty well beat around the bush with certified payroll and like went down 17 other tangents there. But let's see what's next. Do you have something else? Did you want to say something, Alyssa?
No.
Oh.
Other than it's no fun.
Okay. Oh, so my suggestion, I put my suggestions in
Yucky.
here, and I'm glad I did because now I
Yucky
remember.
payroll.
So now you have, okay. So first of all, my suggestions. Oh no, first my thought. So now you have to do payroll once to pay people, and then you have to do certified payroll a second time. So that makes it double yucky.
Double yucky and then you have to submit it to whatever general contractor or the municipality that you're working for. So you got to make sure it's right.
Party.
Trying.
Quite a few times I've gotten mine kicked back. So.
And also if it's OSIP, so that's an owner controlled insurance program. So now you have to submit all your payroll there as well.
Yeah. Now that one, from my experience, isn't as in depth. It just wants to know total
monthly.
Monthly hours, monthly pay.
Yeah.
So that one's
just
not
another
by employee.
It's not as difficult, but it's just another thing that you have to go through and submit to them. Can anyone see that? Here, let me help you. Hold it. You just look like you're randomly dancing. That's so loud. Now the people that had the wreck the first time just fell over in front of another car.
I hope they spontaneously started dancing. What if we have Kristen on the show?
Yeah.
I mean, she's commenting. She's involved in the business, obviously.
Yes. Okay.
What if we have
What
if we have both of y'all couples on the show?
Yes. A meeting of the minds.
Maybe next time.
A double date show.
That sounds good.
I'm down for whatever. I don't care. I'm not scared.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it would
There
be
wouldn't be
super.
room for me. It'd be all right.
So we'd have to like build a new studio so that we could seat 6.
Yeah.
Which is already in the works. So
yeah, we're tearing down our office and building a studio in its place.
The real moneymaker.
Yeah,
podcast.
Right.
Tear down this office.
Right.
Just kidding. We
Okay.
wouldn't do that.
So Kristen said she only hides behind the computer. Oh, that's Alaria's seat, so you'd have to fight with her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say when you send people out on a job, certified payroll stuff, tell them who's doing what. And then it's also been my experience, if you send 2 crews together, put one of them in charge. Say, you're the foreman on this job. I believe that works out a little bit better. Otherwise, you have 2 foremen that have different opinions out there arguing and nobody's getting anything done.
Yeah, that's not very efficient.
Now, people kind of, get their feelings hurt a little bit when you put one person in charge and not them. But I mean, that you're never going to not hurt somebody's feelings at some point, right?
Zach, I can't handle you.
Sorry.
But
I couldn't figure out how to stop it.
and also some of these will require your foreman to fill out sheets about what time they were there, what time they left, what they got done that day. So yeah. But and if you have a foreman, chances are they're pretty organized or at least dependable. So Keep that
For-
in mind.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. So, guess what? When you pay payroll, you have to pay more taxes.
Sounds
And
yucky.
speaking of taxes,
Yucky.
I'm gonna go throw this tea in the harbor, and I'll be back.
Good
Can you do
one.
the drum roll?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go
Can I
for it.
put you on the spot?
Oh gosh.
Let's quiz Dan. So, in my
This
preparation,
is fun.
today, I came across this on the Fence Industry Only Facebook group. No names because it was anonymous. But okay, so this company is a small company. They had $65,000 gross last year. They were 1099s, and he said, "I'm not sure if, but his workload's increased. He's thinking he actually needs some employees to get the jobs done when they need to get done, rather than the 1099 independents who work as their schedule allows." I love this look on your face.
This
So-
is a look of terror.
So, he's wanting to know if he can afford to hire employees because he's not sure if he would be able to afford the payroll taxes and all the taxes that come with it, workman's comp and stuff. So, would you have any advice for him?
65,000 gross is not a lot.
They said, yeah. He said some months we make 2,500 to 4,000 net, and others 7,000 to 8,000 net.
Wait,
the-
so you used gross and
Well, he said we had 65,000 gross last year. I think I don't even think they'd been in business a whole.
so not a full year.
Yeah, they hadn't been in business a full year yet.
And what's their we had a sub. I'll answer this question with a story. So we had a sub. This guy wanted to show up to work and work by himself. And then he wanted to complain because he didn't make enough money. And I was like, you're out here trying to put in fence by yourself. Get a helper. Oh man, but then I have to pay him and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So get a helper. And then you can go from putting in, I'm just going to throw out some numbers. So don't murder me over this. Then if you go from putting in 50 feet of fence a day, you're now going to put in 100 feet of fence a day. Right. So if you could drastically increase the amount of work you're able to get done, then it's worth hiring people. But the question I would have to this anonymous person is, how many calls are you getting? Like,
Right.
is there more capacity? Could you accomplish
Are you
more?
currently turning down jobs because you don't have the capacity to do the work?
Right. That would be my question to them.
Well, and this gets back to like when we talked to Tony about your numbers and projections and having a projection. So to give yourself a target for projected sales that you could hit with these new employees,
Right.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Right. And I mean, I don't know the situation like the 1099 people where they just coming in and working every once in a while. And did you ever go work by yourself?
There is some savings too. Occasionally a 1099 is going to cost you more side by side than an employee with workman's comp and insurance taxes.
Yeah, there's definitely times that's the case.
Right. So that's a possibility where you
And-
could ditch the 1099s, have a regular guy, even if it's, say, you have an entry level helper,
Yep.
And as for a startup, it seems like some clerical or administrative help is necessary too. So that's kind of.
Do you remember what your minimum for workers' comp was? Your minimum premium?
No.
So I had on my farm, I got workers' comp, and my minimum premium was like $1,050 a year.
Mine was something like that.
Right.
It's like
so,
1,200 or 1,500.
Right. So that's what you for sure have to pay. And that allows you so much payroll. And
Right.
so as long as you don't cross whatever that threshold of payroll is, it's never going to cost you more than that minimum. So if you do want to roll the dice and go out and hire people and you're worried about the workers' comp, that's not a big deal. You're going to, it's $1,000 a year. Depends on your state, all of that stuff. But let's say $1,000, $1,500 a year is your minimum you're going to have to pay. And then the taxes are only on how much payroll you spend. Like how much you're spending in payroll is what you're taxed on, right? You don't have like a minimum required payroll tax. So I would say the answer to the question is if you're getting more calls than you can handle, then yeah, hire someone.
Right. And if the objective is to grow, or do you want to maintain the current level, you
Right.
know, too.
Do
I
do you
mean,
want to stay an owner operator, or like do you intend to grow and have employees and all that stuff one day? At some point, you got to do it.
right. And I mean, I live kind of in both pragmatic view and a more spiritual approach where there's two of these things in tandem. One, I'll look at the target and have like a projection and this possible target sales I can hit in the year. Then there's also the like, I can't be afraid to try to take a leap to grow the business if that's my goal. Like, we're not here or to with the prospect that this is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how we move forward at Memphis Fence Company. Everything we're looking at, we're just going to go all in. This podcast,
Yeah.
the manufacturing, going to the trade show, everything is like, there's not a necessarily a backup plan. It's just like, we're moving forward because we have faith in us and this, and
This is just what we're doing.
right, this is what we're doing. So that's, if
I mean,
that,
we don't, and I don't believe in like dipping my toe in the water. I'm
Right.
either all in or I'm not doing it.
so if it was me, I'd say hire somebody.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
but with all those things considered,
Right.
which is still kind of a hard, like, knowing all the facts and then making the decision kind of thing. We've talked a little bit about that too. Like,
Another thing is like we're winter's here. Like winter's quickly approaching,
Right.
depending on where this person is. So that might be something to consider too. Maybe come out the springtime swinging, ready to rock and roll.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So, all right. So we haven't made
That
it to
was
payroll
cool.
taxes at all.
I
Yeah.
felt like that was like a customer. I felt connected to that person, whoever that was.
So the whole being on the spot thing, it's kind of like, hold on, give me a minute, let me think.
Right.
But you can't do that when you're live on a podcast. You can't take that minute to think. If someone sends me an email, yeah, look at that look. If someone sends me an
You're welcome.
email or a text message or something, I can be like, oh, let me think about that a minute.
Well, so how did he do?
I don't know.
You said
I'm
it was
gonna-
a pop quiz or something. Like, this is a test, right?
Right. There has to
We're gonna send the response to this anonymous.
oh,
The vi-
so,
a
He's gonna
video-
hire someone.
so
And
Ilaria
then
Call us.
in 6 months he'll let you
Call
know.
and ask us for
so
a job.
Ilaria turn
That's
it
not
in,
funny.
turn it into a reel and post it on the question.
My response
Actually, I
to
just
you,
wanted to
Anana.
post just your face.
You want to post just my face?
Yeah, your face like terrorized. 1 minute of just your face.
Did you notice that?
Yes.
He just looked.
I turned.
in
Was it
camera.
really as long as it felt like it was? It felt like an eternity.
Yeah. I really thought I was going to get like some crazy stuff thrown at me, but that wasn't that bad.
I thought you could handle that.
But you just turn the page to something else. I see you have a country with a lot of colors.
That's just so.
There's the sales taxes in
That's-
all those other states.
Oh. That country is the United States, and I do
I
know
made it-
that.
I made a pictogram,
You want, let them see it. Why not?
and
we should try-
technically I didn't make this, but this is
Uh.
some sales tax stuff. So just in
right.
case we get to it.
It looks
So
so.
I think here's the plan. We're at payroll taxes. So this entire episode, we've talked about like certified payroll, employment classification, certified payroll, stuff like that. And I mean, I
Is
still
this a
have like another couple
two-part
pages.
episode?
Yeah,
Holy
I think
moly.
we're splitting it. We're an hour and 4 minutes.
Yikes.
All right. So if anyone has any other payroll questions, once again, we're not tax professionals, but you can pick our brain. And second, I guess we do sales tax, and that doesn't sound like a whole episode, but
So I do have a little bit in
and
my
Ballard.
notes
Sales
about
taxes.
sales tax.
sales
have-
tax.
That's cool. You have a
and
question?
bollards.
Yeah, I have a question. Since you have one international working for you guys, is that different doing payroll and taxes for us?
We don't know.
No,
It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's the same
No one-
because
no one- No
Huh?
one laughed at me. How disappointing.
no one listened to you. so-
And you're not the only one.
You know what you get?
That's what I felt. You didn't even have to do it.
It's like he wasn't even here for a moment.
I know. I'm going home.
I didn't even look over there.
So you're.
No,
What do you
because-
mean she's not the only one?
Don't
There's
we have
another?
Yeah,
There was
a guy
another
who
one.
works with a green card?
Oh, shows how much I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we're not paying anything to your country.
Sorry,
Okay, so it's the
sorry,
same.
Italy.
So yeah, so I mean, it just acts as if you are that green card makes it as if you are an American citizen.
Mm,
Okay.
I have an idea. So we do have people that listen in Italy, right?
Apparently we do.
And I don't think they're your
Is it
family.
your mom?
No, she doesn't speak English. So I don't think so.
So, what if they could give us some information about how tax works in Italy?
I'll
So,
ask.
you'll ask. You don't even know who it is.
Oh,
She
you
was
mean
gonna
that
talk
person?
about her
No.
mom.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
ask my family.
You want to bring your mom on the show?
Oh, that's gonna be painful.
Can you interpret?
Yes.
Oh,
I can.
that would
It's
be.
hard.
I think that would be fun for us, but probably terrible for anyone listening.
Yeah, agreed.
We could use all the Italian we've learned
That's one of those episodes you
I don't-
record and play later, maybe.
when you need to take a nap.
yeah, when on a week y'all can't do one.
Yeah.
Here's Alaria's mom reading a book on taxes. What?
So
That's it. No translation, nothing. Just
Like, enjoy and figure it out.
the sales tax manual in Italian.
yeah, I like that. Our Italian listeners, let us know how tax works in Italy.
Getting
Yeah, still Zillow.
advertisements for new homes.
Zillow emails me all the time. We bought
That
a
one
house.
said new furnace.
We
Did you
bought
see?
a house like no, not that one yet. That would be a bill.
No, I'm saying the house was advertising to you.
Oh,
Brand new
that-
furnace. No pool.
That's what I was gonna say. No pool, new furnace.
Oh, geez. So what? All right. Well, that's the plan. Let's stop.
Are we
And
going to
I-
round 2 next week with Alyssa?
I think so.
This
I
is
was gonna
fun.
try to pull up Teams and see what's in here. Y'all fill the dead air while I look. Come on.
With
I don't know. Some
Sing,
words?
Zach, sing.
what should I say? I don't
Shake It Off
sing.
by Taylor Swift.
I don't know that song.
Proudly, in fact.
Actually,
There we go.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's see. So today is 11/2. So yeah, we can do that. 11/9 was going to be listen to Dan cry.
And I do that every day. So
Hey, maybe you said you wanted to interview me and Zach. So maybe if we get on the show next time, knock out the payroll taxes and this other stuff, then maybe you could
interview you boys.
bring the heat.
Like I
What
try.
about bollards? You're gonna,
About bollards.
Ballard.
what does he want to know about?
Ballards.
And the
My
first
pet peeve with bollards is when people say bollard posts.
Yeah, right. Mhm. What
Oh,
is-
you say bollard posts?
what are
sorry.
other-
I don't say bollard. I don't have
That
conversations.
picture I showed you is the what we were laughing at last week that you didn't know what we were laughing at.
Yeah. What
When
are
you were
other
the
things that
biggest-
people do that with? It would be like saying, "Hey, can you give me your SSN number? Oh, VIN number.
VIN
Oh,
number.
VIN.
Your EIN number?" I've never heard that. I
I've
don't
never
think.
Do you
heard
know
that
the
one.
C in DC Comics stands for comics?
No,
Just another one of those things. That wasn't cool.
don't talk
It's
to me
not-
about pop culture. No one cares about DC.
Well,
Yeah. So people do that, like that too, and it really annoys me.
We can add this to the Dan Cries episode.
Yeah.
yeah.
Clip that.
Come-
put it in there.
Wow.
Compile list.
I think we would have to make like a whole mini series of Dan crying, of me crying.
Yeah, I think it should just be a new segment of the show.
We would just have to make another
Yes.
show so we don't ruin this one.
Right. Two all in one show would be too much. I think like just the same as we're doing the Learn Italian segment, we'll have this time with Dan Cries.
by the end of the year, I'm just gonna put together all the new words we learned.
Mhm.
The
Ah,
Italian
that'd be
words.
cool.
Yes, and I'll give you guys
Yes.
a final grade because
What
like,
if
you're
we-
supposed to get better by the end.
Oh,
Mm.
You've been
Mm.
practicing, so like
I mean, we practice. We say one word per week. How
and
much
I
are
don't
we practicing?
remember any of them.
But
I
now
don't even
that,
know the words in English. I can't remember.
But now that she knows, now that y'all know there's going to be a pop quiz.
yes, you can get ready. And if you're not,
What are we gonna get? What are we gonna do? Go back and watch our episodes?
that's what I do every week.
But that's your job. Our job is to just sit here and talk.
Right. I don't even know what we're talking about half the time. I'm just like trying to participate.
Right. I just try to make sure
I
that
heard the
I'm
word
talking.
I heard the word taxes before. I recognize that word.
I get a paycheck.
Right. That's right.
All right. Should we end this? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, we need some. Where's your closing?
What was I gonna do?
Come on,
I
Zach.
I haven't drafted the closing statement.
Oh man.
No, thank you all for joining. Especially Kristen and Cannon Johnson of
And
Jackson
Donnie.
Fence.
And Donnie.
Well,
Don't forget Donnie. Come on.
We love
Come on, Donnie.
don't-
We love you,
I
Donnie.
didn't.
we do.
You didn't even give me time to forget Donnie. I hadn't finished saying
Well, he should
Cannon.
have been number one.
Yeah, he should have been first.
Because he's Memphis fans.
He's family.
And he gives us candy every Friday.
Well, not you, but us.
Not me.
See,
Wait,
thanks,
Donnie
Donnie.
is bringing
Don-
the candy now?
Donnie is now the candy guy.
Billy
Yeah.
gave up on the candy.
Yeah.
Someone just joined watching us live at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Who is it?
Welcome.
Hey,
I
Mom.
don't know.
And goodbye.
Hey, Dad.
Thank
Yeah,
you for joining.
That's your mom trying to see when you're coming to get the kids.
Comments. Are
Right.
y'all finished yet? Thank you guys for joining us this evening. If you had any questions about anything we're going to do a round 2 next week, you're welcome to email, comment on the shows, call the number, all those things. We'd love to have your insight on what we've talked about or what you want us to talk about. Any kind of guest, if you want to be one or if you know one. Again,
Oh, they left.
Yep, that was
There-
Mom.
the
She's like, oh,
accident-
yep, they're still on there.
accidental.
It was too much pressure.
So thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. And really, ultimately, our people who watch and you guys downloading the episodes are the reason we're continuing to do it.
We're still
Um,
here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And I mean, if you like it, tell us.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's all
If you don't.
Or if you don't, tell us. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, I really wish you
How
wouldn't
could
do
we
this.
improve?
Yeah.
Right? That's cool.
We have no idea how we're doing. We're just sit here and talk.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, people listen, so I guess somebody likes it.
They do.
That's cool. Well, thanks for listening, those people that do.
Again, the show's brought to you by Simpalo, MFC Manufacturing, and Memphis Fence Company. I'm
Indeed.
Zach Shue, Dan Turbyville, and today we had Alyssa Turbyville on the show.
You know what I think is pretty funny? The fact that Cannon said all of our sponsors share the same address.
Yeah, it's us.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks
See ya.
again. Y'all have a good evening.